So I'm not sure if you even know this, but
Okay.
I was referred to you. I went to a random massage guy. My massage therapist had moved out of the area, and I went to this guy. He was pretty good, but I said, I'm really working. I'm having some knee pain, and I really need to have more of a serious, more than just a basic massage. And he said that he had seen you doing some teaching and recommended you. And so just from the teaching that you're doing out there, people are being impacted by what you're doing. So I thought you might like to know that.
That is really awesome. I did not know that.
So I looked up your cohesive therapy, and I remember the first time that I went, that I came to your studio, the first thing that I was struck by was your team. So whether it was Tongbai and I believe, is it Wendy at the desk? Both Tongbai and Wendy were just very, very, they just made me feel very comfortable. And especially when you figure out that lymphatic drainage isn't all about the fluffy, feel-good massage. And, there's a slight amount of discomfort involved. It's nice to have people that make you feel really, really welcome and make you feel comfortable. And so the first time that I had a massage here, I had a massage with Corinne, and she was just absolutely start to finish talking me through the entire process, because it's different than a regular massage. And so I really appreciated that. It made me want to come back. And so now, as I'm dealing with a knee injury and a torn meniscus, I'm really having a challenge with, being able to do the normal things that I do, get up and down off of stages and travel and up and down on airplanes and everything. And it's been really difficult. So I just made a decision to come in and do a full program with you and just really give myself almost like immersion to try to feel better. And I think that's definitely happening. It's still in the middle of the process there, but I think the number one thing that I get from coming here is this is just a place of peace. It's just a place where when you walk in the door, life just kind of steps aside and you can just come in and take care of yourself. So I'm super thankful for what you've created here, and I'm excited to see how it grows and blossoms in the future.
Oh, thank you. That is my vision. It's the red carpet for you. It's the red carpet in your life where you get to be the cameo moment where it's all about you. And
I like that. All about me.
Sounds good. Well, I mean, Sherry, you are a phenomenal speaker, and Sherry has inspired me every time I see her. Just your energy makes you want to get going, because you're just naturally talking speeches and inspiration, all the things you do. But as a businesswoman, life is intense, and you love what you do. We do it to the point where we do it where we should be resting, taking care of ourselves. But our brains, for us to switch the brain off from, business to self-care is very challenging.
Right.
So my vision for this space was that a businesswoman who's very successful, busy taking care of the kids, running their business, can come somewhere where, yes, the world stops. It's all about you. The kids aren't pulling on you. The people aren't begging. Everyone's asking you for stuff all day long. That your phone goes hopefully to the door in your purse or on silent mode, where are all eyes on you for healing. And at the time that you're here for an hour now at the center, hey, all day, lymphatic drainage, just go from one thing to another. Day retreat, I learned that the immersion, not just in the spectrum of the treatment plan, but the more immersion you can do when you come here, like, not just an hour, 2 to 3 hours, biocharging, balancing, the yoga, that you're doing an immersion in a short period of time, that then when you leave, you're already better. You're not having these major detox effects, because we detox you while you're here. We keep hydrating you. We do the essential oils and the tea. We do the sweat therapy, so that the goal is to detox as much as you're here, so you can get back to your life tomorrow, today, this afternoon, which is the challenge when you're doing deeper work. Usually you're like lethargic because you do all this deep work. Now you're like, I have to recover from yesterday, which does happen sometimes.
Yes.
But we minimize that a lot if you go through all the therapies when you're here. So the goal is for you, as a very strong businesswoman running an amazing business, and honestly serving the community. I mean, employing people, providing services. It reaches so much further than you can imagine. And that you get your cup filled in a short amount of time with maximum results, because time is the biggest commodity.
That's right.
So we're going to make sure when you're here that your time is really well used, So when you go back out in the world, you're feeling a little bit better. Now you're in a program, so it's a little, I say you're in interim phase, where it's like you make interim improvements and then you go back and interim a little bit more, but eventually you'll get to a place where the interim gets further and then it becomes a butterfly, and then I have to find out where you are because I haven't seen you for months. You're like, oh, I don't need to come. I'm doing good. And I'm like, well, you still need maintenance, but I'm glad, we want you to get to a point where you want us, not need us. And at this stage where you do need the treatment right now. So this is where you are in your journey right now.
Yeah, and I think one of maybe the last components of it is you're setting me up for success, I think, for taking care of myself. And I resonate deeply with what you said about taking care of all the other people. And a lot of times we find ourselves putting ourselves last when it comes to leadership. And so the bottom line is you can't paint from an empty brush. You've got to fill yourself up. And that's exactly what your studio does. And, you don't just send us home. You send us home with the bath salts and the tea and directions and really arming us for the ability to take care of ourselves outside of coming to the center. So thank you. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and we want to set you up for success on that. So the connection calls, I know a couple times, I just had a feeling I needed to connect with you even though I hadn't heard from you. And I thought, I have a feeling she needs to be here. So we're going a little extra stretch. There's certain clients I can just tell need to be contacted. And so we did a couple connection calls. How is that helpful? We did connection. We have a common thread, which is Tony Robbins.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when she told me she had done any courses, I was like, okay, hands down, we're here. So we've got Life Force, we've got biocharging. It's just, we speak that language of leadership and motivation, and leaders lead leaders. And how do you feel as a leader, and having someone reach out to you was different than you are usually the one reaching out to others out of the blue kind of thing?
I mean, I was surprised because, like you said, normally I'm the one who's calling, hey, how are you? What's going on? How's life? Anything I can do to help? And to have somebody care enough beyond just the product or just the service is really huge. And wow, I really love massage therapy. I love lots of the different things that you can do to take care of yourself. But to have the owner call and say, hey, we need to connect was quite something. Very cool.
It matters. And you actually reached down and gave me some good feedback on the website. And some people might see this as criticism, but how I saw it was this woman took the time to actually write to me. I need to take the time to reach out to her.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I saw it in that light, because I feel like kindled spirits in what you're doing. And I'm really excited for you to get to a place where you have so much to offer the world. Your smile, everything. So you're a special human. You're a very special human.
Gepina, I think in our society today, we are so anesthetized to giving critical feedback, saying, hey, how was your experience? And we're so afraid to offend somebody that we forgot that we're just all human.
Yes.
We all need a little help every once in a while. Sometimes we need the bumpers so that we don't fall off the space. And so if you notice something about a company that you think that you like or that you're going to care for, isn't it our job to say, hey, here's what I saw. Here's my feedback. Here's the broccoli in your teeth, or the lipstick, or the shirt. That was Inside Out. That's another video.
What is something inspiring, because I have you here, that you have to say to others that are at home right now that feel like they're just too injured to even start the journey? They're just like, it's too late. I gained too much weight. My knee, or wherever you are. What would you say to someone like that actually is behind the feet at this point, watching this right now?
It's a great question. I think I would say to someone that if you're still here on the planet, you still have work to do. And if you have work to do, then you deserve, and the people around you deserve to get 100% of what you have. And I don't think you can give 100% of what you have when you're in pain. I don't think you can give 100% of what you have when you're not as healthy as you can be. And I don't think you can give 100% to what you have when you're not surrounded by people who care about you. So I think places like cohesive therapy, the community that you're creating, the environment that you're creating is really helpful. And people need to step over that threshold of, saying I'm embarrassed, or I'm too tired, or I don't know if I have enough money or whatever. And they need to just recognize that when you feel better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel better, you serve better. When you serve better, then you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And I think I've shared this with you before, but the number one question that changed my life 12 years ago was, what are you doing with the people God gave you?
Mm.
And you are one of the people God gave you. So you got to take care of you.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being here.
Yeah,
and
my
thank you
pleasure.
for your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah.